Hi, so we are still dealing with the area because I see area is a bit of a difficult topic for some scholars. Some confuse the methods to be used, and some will just don't use the correct method, right? And I have titled this lesson what is the difference, because I really need you to know the difference, right? So now I have created a table to show you the difference between finding the unknown side of a square and also finding the unknown side of a rectangle, right? So we're gonna start with the square. I need you to remember that a square has 4 equal sides. That is very important information right there, right? So the first step, before we go to the steps, I need you to notice that when you have to find the unknown side of a square, they only give you the area, they don't give you the sides. The reason for that is because if they were to give you one of the sides, that means they've already given you the answer because the sides are equal. And if you can take a look at the area of, the rectangle, right? When they ask you to find the unknown side of a rectangle, they give you one of the sides. The reason for this is because the sides are not equal. So the other one is supposed to give you a clue on what the answer for the other part could be. Now we're gonna start with finding the unknown side of a square. So this square has an area of 256 meter square, right? So step number 1 is to find the factors of 256. I have listed all the factors of 256 here. And step 2 is to check which factor can multiply exactly into 256. And how you check this is by dividing all your factors, right? Is by dividing 256 by all the factors until you can find a factor that divides or multiply exactly into 256. So now I've done a bit of an example here, right? So I started with 1. 256 divided by 1 is 256. So 1 is not the factor I'm looking for. 256 divided by 2, 128. 256 divided by 4 is 64. 256 divided by 8 is 32. And 256 divided by 16 is what? 16. So this is the number I'm looking for because it's giving me exactly the same number. So I'm gonna go down here and write that's my 16 because I checked by division, right? So this is step 3, not step 4. Step 3 is to verify. I'm gonna check if my 16 is the correct answer, right? So now I'm gonna check whether 16 multiplied by 16 will give me the area 256. So 16 times 16 is indeed 256. So that means I have found my length for the square, right? So my length is 16. And then going further down, remember how we calculate the area. We go length times breadth. In this case, since it's a square, you can say length times length, right, is 256 meter square. So if my length is 16, obviously all the sides are 16. 16 times 16 is 256. So I'm done. I found my answer. Now perimeter, right? I have noticed some scholars struggle with a question that has a combination of area and perimeter. They assume that the area must be equal to the perimeter. No, area and perimeter are different, right? So how you find perimeter of this square is you're gonna add all the sides. Remember, with perimeter you add all the sides. So now since my square has 4 equal sides, I'm gonna go length plus length plus length plus length. What does this mean? It means this length plus this length plus this length plus this length. Okay, so which is 16. Remember my length is 16, right? 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, which is 64. Do you notice that my perimeter is different from my area? So your perimeter and area cannot be the same number. They do not have to be the same number, All right, so moving along to the other side, right? And now we are finding the unknown side of a rectangle. Before we start, I need you to notice that in the rectangle, they have given you the area and they have also given you one of the sides, right? So this is a clue to help you find the other side, this length, right? We don't have this length, we have this length, and you know that this is equal to this, but that's fine. So what are the steps? The first step is to divide the area by the given side. So this is the area and this is the side they gave you. So you're gonna say 64 divided by 4. Area divided by given side. 64 divided by 4 is 16. So that means the other length is what? 16. So this means this is 16 meters, right? And again, you need to check, you need to verify your answer. So I found my 16, but I need to check whether it's correct or not. So I'm gonna say 4 times 16 is 64. And now I am confident that my answer is correct since it's equaling the area. And remember, how do you calculate area? It's length times breadth. And here I have my length times breadth, which is giving me exactly the area. So now I know that my length is 16 meters. And finally, you check your answer. Length times breadth. Your length is 16, your breadth is 4. 16 times 4 is 64 meters squared. You are done, you have found your answer. Now, finding the perimeter of this rectangle. Remember, perimeter, you add all the sides, right? So this rectangle has a breadth of 4 meters and a length of 16 and a length of 16 meters, né? Breadth of 4, length of 16, length breadth of 4 and length of 16. So how you find perimeter? Remember, perimeter, you add all the sides. So you're gonna say length plus length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. Those are all the sides that this shape has. So our length is 16, so it's gonna be 16 plus 4 plus 16 plus 4, which is 40 meters. So now we know our perimeter is 40 meters. Also, I need you to remember, your perimeter doesn't have a square. The only thing that has a square is the area, right? And again, I need you to notice that your perimeter and your area are not the same. It's not the same number. All right. So now you are going to complete this activity